this video we will build a stone wall in approximate 1:87 scale on a 5 mm thick foam board using an Acmer S1 laser cutter. As the stones have a more marked texture than other surfaces as bricks, instead of just cutting it on black foam board, we are doing it on white drawing paper, a kind of surface with a more marked texture than the foam board. So a piece of 60 mm by 37 mm of white drawing paper is glued on a 5 mm thick foam board piece by using PVA glue. After drawing a vectorial stone wall mosaic or getting a free one from internet, the stone wall pattern is engraved using an Acmer S1 laser cutter equipped with a 3.5 watts blue diode laser, using as settings a speed of 450 mm per minute with the laser module power set at 75%. With the referred settings, the base is not fully cut, but just the paper and the upper foam side, keeping the lower side uncut. Then the cut paper between the stones is randomly removed. Some stones are pulled whereas other are pushed from the board bottom to give the piece a more tridimensional effect. Painting the stone wall is all about deciding what colors are being used, or said in other way, what kind of stones are being represented. Depending on the geographic area, the stones can be grayish, brownish, more ochre. Once decided the base color, subtle differences must be randomly applied from one stone to another by mixing the base color with a more clear and darker base colors and gray, mainly used for desaturation purposes. Remind to keep differences small, as no big differences in color are found amongst stones in the same wall. Firstly, a gray primer base is applied. The purpose here is simulating concrete between the stones. For those modeling a wall built by simply stacking stones, I recommend going for a cutting pattern with narrower spaces between stones and a black primer base. After applying the primer base coat, a random dark gray pattern is applied to create differences on the stones, and then a random diluted plastic putty layer is applied in order to give the stones a marked tridimensional texture. Depending on the stones to be represented, the putty can be applied diluted, as here, to represent more round stones as those taken from a riverside, or not diluted to represent sharper texturized stones as those coming from a quarry. Time to apply the chosen stone color range. As shown in the image, different tones of brown have been applied here. The colors used have been Americana Milk Chocolate, Asphaltum and Slate Grey. Americana paints are great for this purpose as they are thick and allow giving the stones even more texture. The paints are not applied unmixed but mixed in 2 or 3 combinations to create a wider color range. Once painted, a sponge soaked in a mix of the previous paints and then dried is applied to create random spots. It can also be done with a grayish green to simulate lichens on the stone, something not done here. Finally, brown soft pastels have been applied randomly and then softened with a brush to create an even more random finish. A diluted, light matte varnish coat has also been applied in few stones to represent some differences on their surface finish. This coat can be more intense when representing wall stones in humid areas, whereas it must be kept thin, or directly not being applied, when representing wall stones in dry areas. The final result becomes very realistic, even more considering that it is done in an approximate scale of 1:87. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and visit us at scalemodelshack.blogspot.com to stay up to date with new content. Thanks for watching.